So now we're in the DJ Techtools workshop. This is where we make all of our custom controllers, like this guy here, a custom controller made out of walnut that's going to be available in the web store sometime in January. I'm going to jump right in and show you where to add your LEDs and your resistors to the Midi-Fighter board to go ahead and make it flash. When you're taking your Midi-Fighter apart, I want to show you a quick little trick. You can actually just go ahead and separate the board. I've gone ahead and taken out all the screws from the top and bottom, and then you can just pull the buttons straight out from the board. And then you don't have to take all the buttons out, which can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. And now that we've got a board exposed, I can show you where to put your LED. You'll see I've already got one here. We're going to resolder it in to show you. But it's basically dead center in the board. There's two holes here. You can either install it from the top or from the bottom. Alright, we're going to need a few things for this job. Number one, 220 ohm resistor. Get that guy from Radio Shack. A high output LED so it's nice and bright. We need some solder. We need some sort of a cutter. And finally, a soldering iron. So the first thing you're going to want to do is clip down your resistor. We'll get him down about that size. And we need to add him to the LED. Now it doesn't matter which side or which direction this guy's in. I'm going to go ahead and clip off one leg of the LED, and then we're going to solder this what's called inline, just like that. I'm going to make him a little bit shorter so hopefully the ends are equal. Now you can do this probably most easily if you've got something around called a helping hand. This guy is really useful. We'll go ahead and clip this LED onto the helping hand, and then we can get a little bit of solder on our iron and go ahead and join these two guys up. Alright, so those are joined. Now we want these, just check that, looks pretty good. Want them to be equal, so we'll go like that. Boom. Now you could make this shorter, you can make it longer. What's going to happen is this is going to stand off from the board like this. So if you want it closer to the board, then make them shorter. And if you want it farther away from the board, make it longer. Just remember that at the end, your Midi-Fighter is going to be about that tall, so it should fit in there. We may have to bend this one a bit because it's a tad bit tall. Now we're going to put our LED right here in the center. So now we've got this LED here installed. I went ahead and added the resistor onto the LED, and it's important to know that the LED is directional. You'll see that the left hand side has sort of a longer tail and the right hand side has a shorter tail. You want to put the longer to the left and the shorter to the right. Now there's one final thing that you need to do to make this mod work. Over here you'll find the microchip. Be careful of him, and you're going to find two little spots. We'll use the tweezers to show that. There's a guy here and a guy here. Now that is a spot for a resistor. Normally we would put one of these tiny little resistors here, but that's a bit hard for you. So all we have to do is short that out or make the connection between them. Okay, so next we're going to take a small piece of wire, really pretty tiny, maybe about that big, and you're actually going to short out that section of the board right here with that wire. To get the Midi-Fighter to flash with the beat, you want to go into the preferences inside of Chapter. Then you're going to go into the MIDI clock pane and click Send MIDI Clock. Also make sure that under Controller Manager, Midi-Fighter is set to in and out. Now Chapter is going to send the beat to the Midi-Fighter. All you have to do is turn on MIDI clock. And now when you start the track, it'll start to pulse with the beat.